Well, I come home from work today and this car cover, the cheapo, this thing was only like 30 or 40 bucks on Amazon. Finally gave up the ghost. I think it's a good sign that I need to get working on the car. Yeah, so something I had been thinking about for a while and realized is that this is still touching here, which is making the mount go this way. So by having this lined up, that's why that's too far back with these in place. So what I really need to do is get the two rear mounts like bolted in loosely so I can cut this until it fits right and then bolt it down and do the rear mount. But I forgot that the hoist doesn't fit under the subframe when the engine's in, so jack that up, got this attached. I tried to trust myself. I thought I put the bolts in the spots they were in when I lifted it and that I hadn't moved this at all. Maybe I'm wrong. I got a little bit of tension on it. That bolt's still in place. It doesn't go too wild. What I'd like to do is just kind of hover it up high enough that I can make sure I have the right bolts and get this back side in place. The steering rack looks great. You know, taking longer than I thought, but hey, that's the whole project, right? So you got two bolts into the mount through there acting as pins. Bolt back there, same thing, through the mount, kind of acting as a pin. It's way too long, but hey, you know, whatever we need right now to make sure it slides into place. And I ground this a lot more so it's not touching this bell housing anymore. So hopefully it looks close. Maybe I'll have to bang on it a little bit, just bend it some. Yeah, I'm gonna try to lower this into place. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll just slide right out. So all the way in, close enough, I think. So that, to me, looks like it's kind of sitting on all the mounts. So what I'd like to do now is find the right length bolt for that and then tighten this one down. That'll kind of lock it in place. And hopefully when we remove these, it doesn't like thump and have a bunch of tension on it. And then I can figure out how to weld up the new one. But that's all for tonight. This is the downfall of getting old. It's like you're out here working and then you, like I lean over to grab something and now the right lower side of my back just feels awful. Like it hurts. Something got strained that wasn't supposed to be, that, you know, 10 years ago this wouldn't even happen. So now just get to hurt for a while. And we can't close the garage door. So you're gonna hang out? I don't think it's supposed to rain tonight. I'll check. Oh, so I got rained on and probably should have lowered the lift and lowered the hood. I mean, some water got in the car through there. Just, I don't know. I'm not worried too much about it. It's probably gonna be loud as shit with the heater on, but it's just like, it's close. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if other people run this problem or if they run a different style tensioner or what. Either way, I'm just gonna not worry about it and get this rear mount made. So we got bolts holding those in. What I want to do is grab this hook and just pick up a little bit so it just barely lifts off of there, and then we'll pull that mount off and start fabbing up our new one. The hard part will be making sure that this doesn't like go up or down at all. I probably should find a way to like mark the height where I want it. That way if the engine, well, before the battery died, I need a way to indicate how high up the engine is. That way when I make my rear, when I remove that mount, if the engine hoist sags or anything overnight and I don't have a new one in, then I can figure it out. I guess I could almost just go off of this cocksucker. It's like a fingernail, right? It's like halfway up my first digit. do it off that, I think. Yeah, figure something out. There we go. Let's quiet that down for a minute. Been doing a lot of grinding and drilling and stuff. So we've got our plate mounted to the engine. Nice giant fucking gap because I cut it too short. But that's fine because it's flush to the mount. The engine's side on, and this hasn't moved. I mean, it's like up a little higher, but that's fine because it pulls it away a little further. So I think I'm just going to go with it here, knowing that it's going to settle a little bit on the mount. So yeah, I need to figure out how to get my welder out of this mess. I got a bunch of cardboard, needs to go in the fire pit, and I got some stuff that a friend is storing here until Christmas, and the welder's behind all of it. So maybe I'll take a break and have a quick cardboard fire out in the yard, smoke a cigar, have a relax, and then see if I can't dig that welder out and get this mount tacked on so I can pull it off, weld it on for goodsies. Put tacks on this so we can get everything out and then do it in the garage. Okay, nothing's on fire. Did I bridge it? Yeah, it looks like I bridged it. One on the other side. This will do it. I think that'll be good enough. I'm gonna let this cool down before I unbolt it. That way nothing kind of like warps and fucks around, and we'll deal with it out here. And additionally, I could take those two other bolts out, just rip this engine deck out of here. That way I can close the hood, close the garage door, all that kind of good stuff. Well, engine's back out, which is good. And this lip right here, fucking hate it. It gripped on the back wheels. I'd use the jack to lift the thing up just to pop it over. You know, there's like too much shit in the garage and stuff in the way, so I'm gonna let it sit here for a minute while I go have some dinner and try not to care about it so much. But the mount looks good. A little preliminary check. So here's the original, right? And here's the new one. And it lines up essentially like that. And so that lines up. This camera angle is going to be awful. And my hand's in the way. Maybe I'll do it like this. Yeah, so. Oh, like looks good. Holes look good. And then look at all the space we save on top. That's the key here, is that this part, this big gap, that's where turbo pipes need to go. So I think we'll be okay. I'll go ahead and we'll weld along the back of these. Oh, I don't know if it really needs that. But we definitely need a lot of weld up in here. I don't want to put a bunch of heat into that until I have a little brace right here to kind of keep it where it should be. Okie doke. Got the door shut, little heaters on. Really should retape these. I don't know how much it really matters anymore. But, oh, ooh, careful. Yeah, maybe I'll goof with those later. But yeah, cut out this piece on the bandsaw today at work, so I don't have to waste my grinding wheels. And yeah, it fits pretty good. That should do. So I'm gonna tack this one in place and kind of go slow and let it cool as I build it. And while it's cooling in between rips, I'll do a little bit of cleanup. Got the camera charge up a bit. It's set out here in the garage, and it's pretty upset about the cold weather. But here's that mount. As great as my welds are, right? They're good enough. Not pretty, but a little bit of paint and the fact that it's on the back of the engine will work. And it lines up nice, so we'll get that on the back of the block, just a couple bolts, get it tight, hang the turbo, and see if we have clearance now. Close, really close. It's still gonna work overall. You can see we're not quite flat, and it still touches a tiny, tiny bit. We're gonna have plenty of space once it does go down, but I think what I'll do is I'll draw in there with a pen, kind of where it needs to be. Oh, careful, John. Yeah, well, here, there. If I do it like that, and you can kind of see vertically. Yeah, it's gonna be close to that side hole. I hope it doesn't hit the mount. If the turbo hits the mount itself, I might have to switch to the Mark 3 stuff. I don't think it will. The actuator might. Alright, cut a slot out of that mount. See how well it fits now. The turbo will sit flat, I hope. Oh yeah, perfect. So that'll work well. It's not going to go anywhere. We just hope that I wonder if the mount itself is going to hit this. If that's the case, I'll also have to deal with it when the time comes. Because all that's left now, come on. Yeah. Yeah, I'll let that cool off. Get some paint on it so it doesn't look too rusty in the future. And then what I have left, I gotta swap the flanges and I gotta put my new nozzles on the injectors.